G'day everyone. So I bet you guys are wondering why there is a blower hanging out of Mcfry at the moment, and you're just gonna have to watch this video to find out. And t-shirts are up on the website, blue, and I got black. So jump on there and buy it. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so I got some parts in today to fix Mcfry, so I'm gonna fix it. I got a tail light. Daniel Taylor had a spare tail light, so he was nice enough to give it to and replace this crusty one I put on there. As you can see, the one I put on there has been outside for a while and it's very second-hand looking, so thank you, Daniel. It's going to make the car look a little better, and I'll try and straighten that up because it's on a bit of an angle. Makes the car look very bent. So I got my valve spring tool. I bought this thing like 4 years ago and never got to use it, but now I finally get to use it. So got some new valve springs. Very pretty looking. Same springs that are on the motor now. Let's get some focus. Oh god. Okay, so beat it. So I just tap the side of the retainer just to break the collets from the retainer, otherwise they freaking get stuck in there. If you don't tap the side of the retainer, what happens is you compress it and the collets are kind of stuck in there, and then if you try and tap this, because I did this, if you try and tap this, what happens is the collets pop off and they go flying all over the shed. So new spring, we're using the old titanium retainers. Matter of loading it on there. Wind this bad boy down, get it centered, push that down. Okay, once the collets are dropped in there, this is kind of the hard bit, which I probably won't be able to do with the camera, but it's a matter of holding them in the groove and just pushing the valve down and let it back up. And pretty much take that off. Give it a little lub tap with the hammer on the top. Make sure it's seating properly. And continue on to do the rest. And put the lash caps back on. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going with this engine stuff. So, because every time I put something up, I always get like auto-corrected 20,000 times how to do stuff. So this is as far as I'm going, and you don't need to know the rest. Let's go from there. So just like that, we are done. And just going to turn the oil accumulator on and try and get this thing going. Hopefully I got the timing right. I don't know if any of you guys didn't watch the drift video I put up, but I did actually hurt the engine at the drift event. So I went through and I noticed that there was some rockers broke and that sort of thing, and trying to find the problem, I put it down to the valve springs. I tested the pressure of the springs and they were down about 40 pounds from where they were meant to be on the seat. So they lost that much pressure since the motor's gone together. So that's literally just doing the drift event and summer nuts. So I don't know if they just got hot and they're about 3 years old though, so they are old. I did get the option to put new springs in when the heads are getting done, but since the pressures tested good, I thought, no, I'll save some money there. And here I am, saving money, didn't work. So $1,000 springs, they're now in the motor, and yeah, started it and there's a knock. So sucks, but shit happens. That's just the way it is when you rev the shit out of stuff. So It's all part of the fun. So what happened when I started it? It had a knock. So I went through all the rockers again and they were fine. So it's something in the bottom end. I don't know what it is. So I'm gonna have to, better to be safe than sorry. And I took the motor out, and because I had the small block sitting in the corner, thought may as well chuck it in. So that's what I've been working on. And I did drain the oil in the big block, and that's half a lash cap that went missing. And this is the roller out of the rocker that slid out, and it's got stuck on something and it's got a burn on it. So my theory is if you expect the worst, then won't be disappointed. So I'm just assuming that this has spun a bearing. I don't know if it has. Clear view was pretty clean. I've chucked a scope in all the plug holes. Like the pistons have lightly, the valves have lightly touched the pistons. Originally I thought they may have done a bit more damage than I thought, because I put a camera in there and I seen like this little chunk and I got a bit worried. But I had a look at one of my old pistons, and there's this area here that's divoted out, and when I put the little camera down the bore, I seen that and I thought it was, I don't know, a chunk out of the piston or something. So luckily it's the pistons are probably going to be fine. So whatever it is, it's something in the bottom end. I'm assuming it's going to be a rod bearing or something, but it might not be. But there's something going wrong. So it had to come out, and I didn't want to try and nag Brad to try and put this motor together in like 6 days, because it's a big ask for someone. So, and I had the small block sitting in the corner of the shed, so I thought, stuff it, I'm going to put it in the car. So Thursday I started pulling that motor apart, and today's Sunday, and I got the motor in. Everything is plumbed up, and at least for those guys that were asking, because I had this motor up for sale, it still is for sale by the way, but now it's going to be driven. So originally I had it up for sale and no one bought it, but I did have someone ask, they wanted to hear it running. So at least now you can hear it running. You'll be able to hear it running, you'll be able to see it in action all weekend at Powercruise. So I've just used my carbies off the big block, chuck them on. I got a carbie plate from Nigel Bilby. He had one sitting in his shed, so I've got that off him. Put my carbies on. They're going to need to be tuned most likely, but these carbies don't have power valves in them, so I'm just going to chuck them on, start it, give it a try. I'll probably put it up on the trans brake and see what the air fuel is, just to get a rough idea to see if, you know, I'm in the ballpark with the tune. I've just put my alternator on. I put a bigger pulley on the alternator so I don't have any V-belt flying off issues. Yeah, the headers, these are just small block Chev 178 primary headers. And I've adapted all this to my Clearview filter. And I've literally just put my regulator and my fuel line just running up the front of the blower there. And I've got a boost gauge. So I'm nearly ready to start this thing, but I've just got to wait for my friend to come over, because I need someone to hold a timing light. So I'm going to start it very soon. And I've still got to join up the exhaust under here, so I'm just going to get some 3.5-inch pipe just to run from there to the exhaust. I'd like to get some 4-bolt flanges too if I can, because if I can get some 4-bolt flanges, then I don't have to modify my other headers when the big block goes back in. So it is only temporary, this engine. I want my big block back in there. So I know it looks cool, but This is a street car, and that is not streetable. So, yeah, the big block will be going back in after it's fixed. So at least it's going to make it easier to sell this small block now because you guys can see it running. But the carbies won't be going with it. So it's going to have the injector hat, and I'll show you guys the injector hat. It's got all the lines, and it's a bird catcher. And I've also bought some black butterflies. So I've got some black butterflies to go with the bird catcher. There's purple ones in there currently. So, all right. So let's get this thing started.
We're live.
First up.
Yeah. I don't know if you know your fucking.
I'll look at oil pressure.
Oh, you're leaking fuel, mate. I just got sprayed, hectic. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Just fucking sprayed the shit out of me. Might be this line here. Or is that it there?
That one. Always one, eh?
Fucking hell, that made a mess. Is that out of your back of your fucking...
There's a bung there, I reckon.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, it's coming out the bottom there.
At least it's got oil pressure.
Yeah, that's was that like 50 thereabouts?
Right there.
That was like 32.
Yeah, good. Fucking hell.
Oh, moist.
I'm going to have to try and put stronger springs on. We'll close them up.
You know how you're whinging about my accelerator? Welcome to the party.
The timing,
It's a cunt.
timing's on about 35, so it's going to go back a little bit. I've got it, we're around 28 or something. So I'll turn it a little. Alright.
Alright, going again.
Fucking start, cunt.
That was about 28,
Yeah.
27. brush are you on through it?
Round 7.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty much just how I had my big block.
That was a pretty solid little pop, eh?
Yeah, it's, the timer's bouncing around, so when I rev it, the timer was going like all over the place.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know if it's something to go with that fucking distributor. I have to look into that. But the timing's right, it's just that I don't know, there's wires fucking everywhere. They're probably like crossing into each other and shit, 'cause they're all wrapped around each other.
Mmm.
It's good though, sounds good.